Hey everybody, I'm back again, and I decided to go ahead and upload a video today because I had something personal happen that really kind of offended me, and I'm going to tread very lightly with this discussion today with you guys because of the simple fact that I don't want to come off as disrespectful or ungrateful when I'm making this video, but it's just something that I really wanted to talk about because it kind of is an issue that has become very prevalent in the last few weeks, days, months, whatever. And it involves the Affordable Care Act and Donald Trump wanting to overturn it. Now, me personally, I am all for affordable health care for everyone. I think everyone should be able to have access to health care, and everyone should be able to access the medicine that they need to keep them alive and keep them, whatever the case may be. But, and I'm going to give you guys a little precursor to this. I work third shift. So every morning when I get home from work, my typical routine is I get my work clothes off because I work as a security guard. And so I get my uniform off, and then I climb into bed and I get on Facebook and I check my Facebook every single morning. That is like my daily routine. The minute I get home from work, I do it just particularly in that order. Well, this morning I got on Facebook and I seen a post that one of my grandmothers had made about Donald Trump not overturning the Affordable Care Act, and how that she may be uninsurable because she has a medical condition that is slowly killing her, and it will kill her faster without her medicine. Well, I made a comment on there about how it was kind of, in a way, selfish of her to make said comment, because the Affordable Care Act should work for everybody and not just a small handful of people. Well, I go to sleep after leaving that comment, not really thinking too much about it. Well, I wake up around 12 o'clock, and not intentionally, my body kind of just woke me up at 12 o'clock. And I have this message, like 2 messages from my grandmother, who I left this comment on the post she had made, about saying how do I want her to die and blah 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 and things like that. And I responded by saying that I never said that, and me and her had kind of a falling out about 2 months ago over something after I posted something on Facebook. She posted a comment or I was talking to her on the phone, and I had made a comment about something, and she proceeded to make a comment basically telling me that I was a horrible person, and I was like accusing me of sleeping with men for a place to live, which I told my fiance about that, and he found that kind of funny, because I've been with my fiance for 5 years. You're not going to stay with somebody for 5 years if you're with them and only sleeping with them for a place to live. You're not going to do that. You're not going to get engaged to that person. You're not going to be planning this entire life with this person if that is the only reason you're with this person. And I know there are some girls out there who do that, who only get with a guy for their money and only want a guy because of that. But I personally, I love my fiance more than anything in this world. Like, he is like the greatest thing in the world to me. And I have some family who has made personal choices in their past that I do not agree with, and I have been completely vocal about that. Well, she just proceeded to tear me down, and then proceeded to go back onto my Facebook and spread some lies about the situation that we had just gotten in an argument about, that were completely false. And honestly, had they been true, which, like I said, they were not true, they were completely and utterly false, I could have gone to jail for them. There was a situation last year. I had a dog for a little bit, and I ended up having to give him back to my mom because I didn't have time to take care of him. I was working 12-hour days, going to work at 5 a.m., getting home at 5 p.m. some days, and so I wasn't able to take care of him the way I wanted to. Well, he started showing some signs of pain, and I was concerned, so I decided I'm going to take him to the vet, get him looked at. Well, as we were getting ready to load him into my car, we put him in like this tote because we wanted him to be as comfortable as possible. And my fiance and his buddy did this because his dog was in so much pain that it was snipping at people. Well, we end up finding a small, like, little puncture wound, nothing bad, and we didn't know how it got there. And I will tell you guys, I am all 100% against animal cruelty. I do not believe in it, and I was very, very, very concerned about that when I seen it. So of course I get him to the vet ASAP, and the first thing I mentioned to the vet is what we had found when we were getting him. And like the tote that we put him in, we left the lid off it. We didn't put the lid on it or nothing because we just kind of put a pillow at the bottom of it so he'd be comfortable sitting in there. And we put him in my car and I took him. And literally the first thing I mentioned to the vet's office when the vet tech came in to see us was that we had found this hole in his side, and we were really, really concerned about it because we didn't know how it got there or anything else. Well, at the time, I had literally just paid all the money I had out to my bills. So I didn't have a lot of money, so I found a place that would see him for an initial checkup for free. Well, like I said, when I mentioned this to the vet, she looked at it and she was concerned. And so she said, well, let's get him some pain medicine for the pain and the antibiotic. And an antibiotic so his blood doesn't get infected. Well, at the time, like I said, I had just paid all my money out in bills, and I really was desperate to get him this medicine because I wanted him to get better. That was my number one priority. So I started calling my not this particular grandmother, but another grandmother of mine, and my mother. And my mom bought his antibiotic, which she ordered off of 1-800-PET-MEDS. Great website if you guys have never used it. It's good to get medication. And my grandmother, like I said, not this grandmother that I'm talking about in this video, but my other grandmother got his pain medication on the terms that I would pay them both back. Well, the pain medicine, the antibiotic, which is what my mom bought him, was like $60-something, even on 1-800-PET-MEDS. And I have not yet had a chance to pay my mother back, and I feel bad for that because she really did help me out. And I called my grandmother stressed out about this situation because, and she basically told me that I should just kill the dog. I should just put him down, even though the vet said that there was no need to put him down, that he would be perfectly fine. Just get him on the antibiotic, give him the pain medicine, it'll heal. He was fine. It was already starting to heal by this point because I will be honest, guys, I didn't really think much of the pain when it first started. It wasn't until the pain was causing him to walk kind of sideways, because dogs have pain, dogs get hurt. You don't take just like people. We don't go to the doctor for every little ache and pain. So I really didn't think much of it when it first happened. But when he started walking like sideways or was reluctant to go down the steps, it's when I knew, hey, I need to get him to the vet, something's wrong. And that was when this came up. Well, I got mad at my grandmother for telling me that I should just kill my dog, even though there was no need to put him down. He was going to be fine. Like, the vet even said that he would be absolutely fine in a week or two, just give it time. And of course, he started getting better. He was already better by this point when this conversation happened. Well, my grandmother, like I said, proceeded to call me like nasty, nasty names, like telling me I was basically a whore and that I was basically a slut and all kinds of things. Well, I haven't really spoken to her much since that day because of those comments. But like I said, I saw on there today where she had posted that comment about how the Affordable Care Act needed to stay the way it was, and Obama and Trump just needed to leave it alone because, and I proceeded to tell her my personal opinion that, this needs fixed. This is not working for everybody. It's working for a small few people, and we need to fix this because this isn't right. This is not working, whatever. And she got really, really mad and sent me this big, long message. Like, I'm talking, guys, it's probably almost dang near an essay, basically, about how I was a selfish person. And the reason I posted this is, the reason I'm posting this, the reason I'm mainly posting this today is because I want to talk about, I wanted to show you guys the liberal mindset. The liberal mindset is, if you disagree with them and you don't like something, then you're a bad person. And I'm going to pull this message up, guys, because I want you guys to hear some of the things that this woman said to me. And I'm trying to be very respectful of my grandmother. That's why I'm not going to use her name or anything in this video. But what I'm mainly posting this because I want to talk about what the liberal mindset is. She said, she said something like, does loving your grandparents mean nothing to you? Are you wanting me to not have my meds and just die? Do you hate me that much now? If you do, I feel sorry for you. Why do you hate me so much? All of this over a dog. Why do you have to keep insulting your family on Facebook? And the thing is I didn't insult her. Like, I guess I called her selfish, and I don't find selfish to be that big of an insult, personally, but I think, yeah, it is selfish that you want something to stay in place that you know in this country is failing. I am all for, like I said, I'm all for affordable care. I'm all for people being able to get the medicines and things they need to keep them alive and keep them well. But at the same time, I also have to stand behind Trump. I am a Trump supporter 100%. When Trump first started running, I will admit I was not. I was kind of leaning towards more towards Bernie Sanders at that point. But then I started hearing some things that I don't agree with. I don't agree with a lot of the things that Bernie or Hillary throughout the campaign completely said, and Trump really made some more things that I agree with, made more valid points towards what I agree with. And I will admit, every election I have voted Republican. I am a true Republican, but for some reason this time I was leaning more towards Democrats in the last election, only because Trump had made some comments in the beginning of his campaign that to me just didn't sit right, and I was like, but I had to look past those and see that Trump really wanted to do what was best for America. Hillary, Bernie, all them were for big business and not America. And Trump was more for the American people. And that is personally why I voted for Trump. But the whole point of this video is not to explain why I voted for Trump. The whole point of this video is to show you guys that liberals out there don't care. As long as they can benefit from something, they don't care if the mass majority of people is not benefiting from it. And I personally feel like it's wrong. We need a healthcare system. While we need a healthcare system that is affordable for every person and every person can get insurance, we also need a healthcare system that is good for everybody and not just that small handful of people. I personally went to the doctor. I had insurance through the marketplace about 3 years ago. And yeah, it was 3 years ago. And I was told by a doctor that they could not see me. When I went to this doctor with my Obamacare insurance, I felt like they were basically telling me, you're not good enough and we won't see you because you have poor person insurance. Now go away and leave us alone. Well, of course, I was really hurt and offended by that, and I literally called my mother crying that day over this issue that I felt insulted. I mean, at the time I was working 2 jobs. I wasn't working very good jobs. I was working at Target and McDonald's at the time, so they weren't really high-paying jobs, but it was the only thing I could do at this point. I didn't really have a skill set that I could take into a job and use. So I was taking whatever work I could get at the time. And so the Affordable Care Insurance was the only insurance I could afford at the time. I was paying $1 or something a month for a premium on this insurance, but I also had I was able to get some credits because of some medical conditions that I have that paid for the big majority of the insurance that I had at the time. And then about a week, or I think it was 2 or 3 weeks after that, I went to a dentist office to get some work done on my teeth because I have a lot of issues in my mouth, because back when I was a little bit younger, I was not very good about caring for my teeth and my smile, and I was your typical kid, but I was a little bit worse than most people. And this dentist said, oh, your dental insurance is only for people that are 19 and younger. And if you guys have watched my video, I think in the last one I stated that I'm almost 27. So this would have been about 3 years. This would have been 3 years ago. So I still, even at 3 years ago, I wasn't under 19 or under. I was 24, almost 25 at the time. Or no, 23, almost 24 at the time, sorry. And so that to me was like an eye-opener of how Obamacare is completely failing. And like when Obama first passed it, I thought, hallelujah, saving grace. This was the first time I had actually like supported anything Obama had tried to do. And then as I started realizing that this plan's not working, I can't get my teeth worked on because I can't afford it. I can't see the doctor I've seen since I was 16 years old because they don't take the insurance. And it just turned into this giant mess. And that was when I was done with Obamacare. And my whole point with the conversation with my grandmother, sorry guys, my cat is like trying to eat something and I'm always trying to eat. But the whole Obamacare issue that I had was the fact that, you know, this thing was preached as this is gonna be a miracle, this is gonna be a lifesaver, it's gonna help give people insurance that can't afford it, it's gonna cover everyone for everything. And then I get it because, you know, they put that penalty in place and I was like, I can't afford to pay a penalty on my income when my tax check comes. So I got this insurance and I found a way to be able to afford it. It was like I said, like $1 or something I was paying a month on this insurance. And then come to find out, I can't use it anywhere. I had to find all new doctors. I had to find a dentist that took it. I had to literally change like everything I had been used to doing. I have really bad anxiety when it comes to meeting new people and everything. So I literally had to change my entire circle of doctors and dentists and psychiatrists and everything that I had been seeing for years. Because this Obamacare insurance basically said that you can only go to these places, and these places. And they didn't make every doctor opt in to take it. And it really just it doesn't benefit those of us with these issues of anxiety that just don't do well with new people that want to continue to see their same doctors. Because they've built a relationship with them, they trust them, they're comfortable with them, and sorry guys, I'm off on a tangent here. This video is like almost 20 minutes long, so I'm going to end it here in a minute. But the whole point I'm trying to make with this is liberals do not care. They don't care that the mass majority is not benefiting from this. They're like, okay, well, I'm benefiting, so I don't give a crap if you're not at all. And it's time that we stand behind our president, Donald J. Trump, and tell these liberals, yes, we want affordable care. We want care that works for everybody. And the Affordable Care Act is not that. Stand behind Trump and let's get this thing figured out, get it appealed, where it will work for every person. I am so tired of this agenda that these liberals have of, we only care about your opinion if you stand on our side. Let's stop coddling the liberal agenda's feelings. Let's stop catering to these special snowflakes that can't handle a difference in opinion. And let's stand together as one and say we are no longer going to coddle your feelings, and we are no longer going to cater to what you want, and we are going to cater to what is best for the American people. And Donald Trump said it best when he said, let's make America great again, because America needs to be great for every single person. America needs to be great for those that want to do things the right way and want to work hard and want to, and that's another issue that I'm going to make another video about this later, not today, but sometime in the near future, about the liberal agenda talking about how immigration should just be wiped away. We have to get a handle on that as well. And like I said, that's a topic for another video. I'm not going to get too much into that. But we just have to stop catering to this liberal agenda that doesn't care about America, that wants to destroy America at its core, and wants to destroy everything that America is built on. And I'm tired of it. And that is why I got off on this rant, why I'm off on a tangent now, because I'm so sick of everyone telling us we have to cater to the liberal agenda. Okay guys, you know where the like button is, you know where the subscribe button is. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it, comment below and hit that subscribe button. and I'm actually going to go post a blog on this topic now because I have a lot more I want to say. So if you guys want to hop on over to my blog is The Proud Anti-Feminist at blogspot.com. Please jump over there, check it out. Show this video to your family and friends. Show my blog to your family and friends. And I really appreciate for the subscribers I do have. I know there's only 9 of you guys, and I appreciate you, every one of you, taking the time out to look for my videos. I'm so glad that I was able to re-get this channel up for you guys, because I know I had a bunch of you guys commenting and asking me to do more, and I had actually lost this account for over a year, guys. So please keep supporting me, keep watching my videos, and I will see you guys in the next video.